Welcome to the Discovery Doc podcast, where we advocate for optimal wellness and reducing everyday toxic loads, no matter where life takes you. I'm Dr. CeCe, doctor in nursing practice, self-proclaimed toxin tamer, and a crunchy mama.
I'm Annah Kate, a medical mystery overachiever and your discovery liaison. Join us on this exciting journey as we explore the world of holistic health, cutting-edge research, and practical solutions for a healthier life. Together, we'll navigate through the complexities of wellness, sharing valuable insights and expert advice.
Tune in to the Discovery Doc podcast. Get ready to be inspired, empowered, and discover a whole new way of looking at your health.
Welcome back to the Discovery Doc podcast. I'm here with your host,
Dr. CeCe, functional medicine nurse practitioner, self-proclaimed toxin tamer, and crunchy mama, and our co-host.
I'm Ande, Kate, your medical mystery overachiever and discovery liaison, and we are back with the mini-sode.
Yes, we are. And today we are quickly talking about just natural options for allergies, all you allergy sufferers out there. For heading into spring, we thought it was a good time to just get prepared, see what you can have in your pantry at home to give some relief to you or your little ones.
Yep.
Because I know when I first moved to Georgia, holy moly, the pollen hit me like a ton of bricks.
Pollen is its own season.
Seriously, I was like, this is disgusting. What is this covering my car?
Yes.
And I've never had allergies before in my life. And the first 2 years, just wildly intense allergies during pollen. And then they chilled out. I feel like I got used to them.
So if you live anywhere else in the country but the South, you're fine. You can handle this. But all of our foliage just dumps pollen and everything is like this neon yellow green outside for a couple of weeks. Now, I wish they would do it all at the same time, but they spread it out over a couple of weeks.
Exactly. It's like snow, but it's not fun, and it's yellow, and it gets all over your clothes and your car and in your vents.
Yeah.
I think snow is much more fun. Anyways, so there's a good kind of baseline to what we're talking about now in some of our previous episodes. So go back and listen, especially to the ones about maintaining your home, because obviously we can take supplements, but making sure our home, our ducts are clean, our HVAC units are clean. I always like to do that around January or February, right before all the pollen hits.
Yep.
Just to refresh the year, start the year off well. If you need advice on that, go back and listen. Anna Kate, putting you on the spot. Do you know what episode that was? It was with Tori McGee.
It was episode 40 and 41.
There we go. Oh, killed it. We talk all about cleaning your house, what you can do to kind of seal off your house from outdoor allergens, indoor allergens, etc. Air purifiers. We use air doctors, but there's a lot of good ones out there that you can use to just help purify the air, take all those little dust mites and allergens out of the air.
Replace your home filter.
Yes.
If you don't have an air purifier, at least maintain your whole home air filter.
Yes, absolutely. Ask yourself when's the last time you did that, because life happens and we forget.
Put it on a schedule, put it on an alarm on your calendar. Hey, it's time to renew, to switch out your air filters. And I found out my MERV score. Is it MERV?
Yeah.
I think we're a 7, 5, 6, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think
maybe 20. I don't know.
Maybe 20. The vast differences. Like perfection would be 8 and above. Like 8 to 12 is like, okay, we're good here.
I'll have to ask my husband again.
Okay.
Maybe it was in the teens. I don't know. He's
okay.
on it.
And the teens would be good.
Yeah,
if he's on it, then the higher the better.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if he's doing it, then
because I know
it's not a 5.
Yeah, no. And we change them all the time. Like he's got it on a household schedule.
See, we don't. The other day I was like, when's the last time we did all this? And forewarning, we're recording this very early because of baby. But I'm like, before baby comes, like we need all our ducts cleaned again, all of them. And I'm like, I have no idea. It's probably been 2 years. I mean, it just happens. But anyways, there's a tip to do it before allergy season.
This is your reminder.
Hits you in the face. Yes. And then in terms of supplements and or medications, there's obviously like a vast spectrum of what helps who, and you can do all the over-the-counter things, and if you are happy with that, by all means do it. If you're a Claritin, Pumin, and Allegra person, go for it. On the more natural side, there are a couple things that I like. One, homeopathy. So boron has something called Allergy Calm. I just like it because it's safe. It's safe no matter who wants it or takes it, whether they're kids or adults. You can't go wrong. You can't there's just no question behind it. Nobody's going to react adversely to it. It doesn't interact with any sort of drug or medication. So it's very safe to have at home, even if you're uncomfortable with like the natural just supplements or remedies or dosing or things like that. You literally cannot go wrong with it. So I like to keep that. They have a kids version and an adult version as well. You can mix it if you're doing over-the-counter allergy medications, if you're on true medications or taking other supplements, it's safe no matter what. The other one I like, which going more into what I would away from homeopathy, is something called DeHist. And well, there's two. There's DeHist by Orthomolecular that I like the junior, DeHist Junior, because it's a little chewable for kids.
Yep.
They have an adult version called DeHist, but I'm going to be very honest. I like for adults, it's called Seasonal Shield by Numedica.
Yes.
I like that one better. It's a little more comprehensive than the adult DeHist, but for kids, I like the DeHist Junior just because it's a chewable and it is very comprehensive. All three of those contain very similar ingredients. You're always going to have vitamin C, quercetin, NAC, bromelain, stinging nettle, which together are a really great combination of just natural antihistamines. Right. So for adults, they come in capsules. The kids are chewables. Kids dosing depends on their age. So please do your research and or consult with your whoever healthcare provider. But it works really well. And they taste good. I might have one kid in a blue moon who's like, this is nasty.
Well, we also have to think about what their traditional diet is, because the stuff that tastes gross to normal Western American kids does not taste gross to your kids because of the way your kids eat.
My kids love them. They think it's like candy. Yes. Nice, they get it's like a little bit of sour and sweet. Yeah. And they're like, can I get that one? I'm like, you don't need it. And they're like, yeah, but can I have it? I'm like, okay, fine. Like, yeah. So
it's not going to hurt.
That is true. That is very true. The reason why I like the Seasonal Shield a little bit better than the DeHist is because it brings in bioflavonoids. It has some grapeseed extract. It has some betaine. So it has some extra ingredients in there that the adult DeHist by Orthomolecular does not have. So those are really awesome in conjunction with anything else, very safe in other regimens that you're doing. If you are crazy allergy-ish, what I always want you to remember is that these are antihistamines. So they target the histamine. But what produces histamine?
Mast cells.
Yes. Nailed it. A+. Pop quiz. This is 2 for 2.
I'm on a roll.
I know. So I like to envision histamines as like they're like these little spores, and antihistamines come in like the Pac-Man and they gobble up all those little spores. But if the mast cells are producing way too much histamine and too quickly, where those little Pac-Men can't keep up with eating all the histamine byproducts, then you can still be symptomatic. And so if that's the case, then it doesn't really matter how many antihistamines you take. It's the mast cells need to be told to calm down and sit down.
Sit down, please.
Yes, sir, you're overreacting. And so if that's the case, there's some like immune modulators, like cytokine modulators out there that are okay. Like Pure Encapsulations has, some Th1, Th2 modulators. But for people who are really, really high histamine, I don't find that they work as well as I would hope. So I actually cross over into a little bit of conventional medicine here and use something like cromolyn. Okay. Cromolyn is super safe. Littles can have it up to endless age. Up to bigs. You can take it multiple times per day. It doesn't make you drowsy. I prefer to compound it so it's nice and clean. There's no added ingredients. And that is a true mast cell stabilizer. So just know that there's different layers to anything that you might need. And not everybody responds to the same antihistamine because there's different receptors. Right. There's different types of antihistamines. So don't be defeated, but kind of if one doesn't work, kind of go to the next, try the natural route. If you need more help telling your big bad mast cells to sit down, then that's where you need to get a practitioner involved. But just know that there's kind of layers to it. Okay. But those are good baselines. I always have DeHist Junior, Seasonal Shield, and homeopathy and pour on Allergy Calm in my pantry going into the spring.
Yeah. And so there are some other things that you can do when you have been outside for an extended period of time, take your outer layers off before you come in the house and throw them in the wash. Don't go sit on your couch. Don't go sit on your bed. Don't, if you can, and remember, I know y'all take off your shoes, take off whatever you can outside or in the laundry room. And so you're not tracking it all over the house. That will be helpful. And then wait until after the pollen season to burp your house and vent and everything.
Don't open
your
windows in pollen season. Oh my gosh, I learned that the hard way.
That is the worst because it's sticky and you can't get it off of things.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Those are the tips for allergy season. Also,
quick tips.
Your puppies can also have allergies.
Yes, they can.
So I wonder if my white puppy has allergies.
I know they're going to. White puppies are just notorious for allergies. I know. But there's an awesome, anyone who's local, by the way, because I'm crazy. There's an awesome holistic vet in Roswell. Yes, called Happy Tails. They use homeopathy. They use natural supplements. They do acupuncture.
Nice.
They do chiropractic care. It's literally my dream. And so we are not, what's it called, sponsored or related to them by any means. I take my dogs there just because I love it so much.
Well, you love your puppies. And
anyways,
puppies are part of the family.
Yeah.
So just get everybody on the right course and make sure that, because I have 3 puppies. So when they go out during pollen season, I make sure that I wipe them down with like a baby wipe. I have them. And so they're not running all over the house and getting it on everything either. So just be aware.
Yeah. Quick tips for allergies. We'll be up next with some quick tips for healing the gut. So stay tuned for our smorgasbord of mini-sodes.
Yeah. I hope you're learning things.
Yeah. And until next time, let's discover together.
We hope you've enjoyed this journey of exploration and learning as much as we have. Before you go, we have a special request for you, our beloved discoverers. We'd be thrilled if you could show your support in a few easy steps. Step 1, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment of discovery. Step 2, if you're listening via Apple Podcasts, please take a moment to rate and review our show. Your feedback means the world to us and helps others discover our podcast too. Step 3, whether you're on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast platform, please share the Discovery Doc podcast with your friends, family, and social networks. It's the best way to spread the joy of discovery. And finally, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at The Discovery Doc. Stay connected with us for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and so much more. Plus, for exclusive content and additional resources, be sure to check out our website at www.thediscoverydoc.com. And while you're there, if you have a burning question or a topic you'd like us to discuss on the show, simply let us know. Thank you, Discoverers, for being part of our incredible journey. Until next time, let's discover together. The content provided in this podcast provides general information and discussions on various topics related to health, wellness, and medical advancements. However, it is essential to understand that the content provided in this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The host, guests, and contributors are individuals sharing their personal experiences, opinions, and knowledge in their respective fields. While they strive to provide accurate, up-to-date information, medical knowledge is constantly evolving, and the information presented in this podcast may not always reflect the most current research and medical guidelines. It is crucial to consult with a qualified healthcare professional or medical expert for specific medical concerns. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking medical treatment based on the information presented in this podcast. The Discovery Doc podcast encourages listeners to use their own judgment and discretion while implementing any suggestions, recommendations, or lifestyle changes discussed in this episode. Each individual's medical situation is unique and may work for one, may not be suitable or safe for another. The podcast hosts, guests, and contributors are not liable for any direct, indirect, consequential, or incidental damages or harm that may arise from listening or acting upon the information provided in this podcast. Listeners are responsible for their own health decisions and should exercise caution and seek professional guidance when necessary. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that you have read, understood, and agreed to this medical disclaimer. If you have any questions or concerns about this medical disclaimer, please consult a qualified healthcare professional.